church and start a song in any language. I'm expecting them. You know that? I come here and say Sanbona Ban. You hear, I also have got the same problem. Ne? I'm busy throwing in Ndebele Zulu words ne? Instead of Venda or Afrikaner. Ne? By the way, I know languages, different languages. Ne? I can sing for you an Afrikaner song and you can say, praise the Lord. Ne? Is there anyone who is doubting my capabilities? Okay, let me sing the Afrikaner one. I don't want to go to the closer one because you'll say, he was in Cape Town for 4 years. Okay, let me sing this one. Okay. Fardek, his style. Fardek, his style. Fardek, his style. Oh. Yeah. It's worthy is the lamb. You can check it. That's it. You can give me another number and but we don't have time for that. We don't have. But I'm just saying, imagine a person who speaks the Afrikaner language, ne? He or she leaves home with confidence. Ne? You understand? But now, this assumption which we give, it's always problematic because it creates a gap between the person you are facing. Denialism, you cannot experience the joy of that conversation. You're expecting somebody to be excited. I'll give you good examples. There are some things, there are some cultures you cannot hug. You know what I mean? You don't go around because it's the Sabbath, you are busy hugging. Go to Kenya, they will, sorry. I'm saying there are some cultures, the way how we do things. Now you come to me and do this. Ne? I mean, I'm fine with it. But there are some cultures, it's like you are saying, Uzongtola. Ne? You do not have knowledge about other cultures. But now let's go to definitions. Okay, I wish to arrive to definition. Non-verbal communication is the most dangerous thing because people use hands, fingers, and whatsoever in greeting. Tina, we used to say, ne? What is that? Sharp, ne? But you go to another place and you do this and you look at a person being surprised. Why are you doing this? But you know how we play with our fingers, ne? I'm a case a chief supporter, ne? If I do this, ne? Ikosi liyangibona, ne? But laba abanye basupporta amathambo laba ne? They are supposed to do their own thing, ne? Whatever. So non-verbal communication is the most dangerous one because we use it to each other. And you assume that another person understands where you're coming from, where you're headed to. I can tell you now, you know, little children, when they go to school, and they see your fingers floating, maybe, you know, an old woman, only male in did you see what grandmother was saying? Because they've been taught at school by their friends, don't use this finger to do this and that. Ne? So non-verbal communication, even your facial expression, ne? I can hear you saying something. In the corporate world, ne? Sorry, my brother, because you're in the front. Ne? In the corporate world, if you sit like this, ne? They think you and Matamela and Deborah, ne? If you close your, even now a Zoomer, now, and actually we love it, ne? If you sit like this, ne? It's like I'm shutting you out. Ne? You need to sit with your chest out and say, give me more. Ne? Even me preaching here, my sermon can be good or bad because of you. The way how you show. Sometimes you want to show like you are giving it. You are saying, give us more. You are encouraging me. I can tell you that some teams play better with supporters. And some teams will perform badly without. You understand? We lost the league because of Corona. We are not, Corona came and we had no supporters in the, you know. Some groups, some musical groups in the church, around. There are churches which we know that, hey, we are not going to pay because of the way how people at Sunnyside and goes to Lita Labantu, the same on and I support me manch. Because at Sunnyside there was an old lady who kept on saying, hey, Nkosiam. But now you are not hearing that Nkosiam, you feel like your point does not make sense. You understand? Have you ever had people with long prayers? What encourages them is these people like saying, and the person now is saying, hey, Holy Spirit, bring a lot. To hear my eloquence and whatsoever. So, guys, in other words, I'm saying, when we are at church, let's try to give it to the person who is presenting. The worst one is the one who sleeps and then born to lele in front of me. Actually, it's so distracting that all the ones who are awake, they no longer matter, but him sleeping, it means with the show it does not make sense. Guys, when we are at church, act. If the preacher is weak, act. Especially once you realize that we are live on Facebook or wherever, act and love it and enjoy. Because even if somebody is greeting, you know, I like our pastor, Dr. Mahlang. You know, when Dr. Mahlang greets you out there, he means it. He gives you attention, he smiles at you. And if you see these days, I'm also trying to act like him. Hi, because that has got a way of connecting with a person. People can be free. Actually, if I say let us all go to the CBD and ask the time from the next person you'll see, there are some you'll allow to pass. Because there are people who are coming with that mentality. Hey, I've got my bigger problems. You understand? You will wait for somebody who is opening, who is accommodating, and you say, wow, what's the time? So even we do that at church, we don't realize that. Okay, let's look at the okay, I don't want to talk about the languages, you all know. It reflects aspects of culture, the vehicle of culture. And we notice that people are so passionate about their language. Don't be so passionate about your language that you ignore that you are not in a setup where your language can flourish without a vehicle of everything. I know countries like that. I mean, I've traveled a lot of places in Africa. For example, I know Botswana. If there is anyone from Botswana, you can forgive me. I know in Botswana, they pretend as if they live alone. Even if you speak in English, a little bit of Zulus, they also do that. Even when they know English, but because of the way how they love their Zulu, they just cannot accommodate anybody outside. But I've been to Tanzania, I've been to Zambia. You know, those people are so loving. I don't know whether we've got any Tanzanians, Zambians in the church. They are so loving. One, in their culture, they greet every person every next person. They are so nice. In Tanzania, they smile at you. They just look at you. But in Southern Africa here, especially a little bit of South Africa, Zim, people here, they are serious. You can walk with them in the lift. They press their 8 and you press their 7. You'll only start talking when the lift in a stuck. If all goes well, you are together in the lift and you go out. Not in Zambia. In Zambia, main road, you are walking. They are greeting you. In Malawi, they are greeting you. Ne? People have cultivated that kind of a culture. That's why even in a setup whereby a simple thing like knowing that an elderly person can be preferred to have a seat than you, it become a norm and a culture setting for another locuzen. Eh? But in some places, I paid for my child to be here. I give offerings. Straight, even if you see an elderly person standing, they will take that when I be late to church. You understand? So don't be so confident that you can come here and greet people in your language. There is one statement which says everyone must learn to be a foreigner and a local in his own place. Did you hear that? Don't be a local. Because you are Zulu, don't be a local in Zululand. Ne? In Zululand, there in Durban, ne? In wherever, Kwanongoma, ne? Be two things. Ne? I'm a local and a what? And a foreigner. I don't know whether you understand that. I don't want to, this is not theological. It's just embracing the next person. I'm still myself, but in case the one who is approaching, in case the person is coming, is from another place, how can I accommodate them? Okay. What is ethnocentrism? When one judges aspects of another culture negatively by the standards of one's own culture and see one's own culture as superior to other cultures, it will lead to rejection of richness and knowledge of other cultures and tends to highlight and exaggerate cultural differences. It is also maintained by resentment of differences and attempts to validate itself by selective comparisons. I know very well that there are some cultures which I automatically know them by what has been fed in my mind, which is negative. I'm going to take a culture which is far away, ne? So that I don't stamp on top of people's toes. You see, when you are watching TV, and when there is too much noise in a movie, ne? You think, what movie is it? You think, hey, who switched on the Nigerian movie? You have just chosen to, anything negative on TV which is noisy is Nigerian. To a point of that sometimes when you are shopping for curtains, ne? And if you see these ones with funny colors, I don't want Nigerian. You know such a thing? For example, I know when I was young, ne, whenever I would have something like, I'll give an example of a red shirt. Ne? If you give me a red shirt and I wear my red shirt, I'll say, no, I'm wearing like a Shona. You have decided. You have decided and put it in bold, ne? That even if you're a musical group and now you decide and say, okay, let's have a uniform, ne? If somebody comes and say, we can have something red like this, and say, no, we'll be looking like. The point is, when you have decided something and you have said it's negative to your mind, you have not taken time to learn and appreciate why these people do this. I like the Zulus, they will wear their thing like a leopard skin or whatsoever. Grew up wrong. You were switched to believe one wrong thing. Okay, one thing which you do not appreciate. You are now missing on other things in the way how they sing. When they sing, you can tell what heaven is nearer than. I've heard a lot of things. I've heard a lot of things about people only centering on negatives. We are a group of people as Adventists. Do people know our good things or they know only the negative? Have you ever heard them saying, Labo, those who don't eat meat? Have you ever heard them say that? And do you think Adventism is about meat eating? But now, because we send you to go and represent us, the only thing you put up front is, we don't eat meat, we don't eat meat. And people now think that meat eating is just Adventism. Or have you ever heard them, those ones who are too smart? There are some people who don't come to this church purely because they think we are out of their league. Because when you are always, you do not know how to do marketing, market research, whereby if I'm going to go, let me almost try and dress like them. When I want to figure and the person is now thinking, how do I fit in this church? How do I fit? Sometimes we judge people by the little things we do not appreciate and put an equal and, simple, submit, fix. There is no response to that. You have missed up on other beautiful things. Okay, these are common on our stereotypes, are negative or positive judgments made about individual based on any observable and believed group membership. This leads to generalization. To generalize is just like saying, because of, I'm talking to sisters now, because you are not good at choosing boyfriends, you chose yourself without anyone coercing you or pushing you to choose that man. And wakuravaza inhliziyo, then you go around saying, all Adventist men are. Mama, is there mama there? Because your husband is problematic in your life, and he's been a cheater, a serial cheater, and you go around saying men are dogs. You are now generalizing. And even when you say men are dogs, you even forget about your dad. You get what I'm saying? And in culture, we generalize about people. When you hear somebody speaking, let me say, speaking African, you think he's a farmer. You are generalizing. A good Nigerian comes, is trying to give a business proposal. You think you are being scammed, he's going to sell drugs. Then you see a pastor saying hello and you think, oh, man of God. Hey! Do not generalize about people. Look at people, probe them, check them, and qualify them. Some pastors are dangerous. Some Nigerians are very good, powerful men of God. Understand? So the problem we have with our stereotypes that they become a stumbling block. Or before you allow them to talk, You already know what they are capable of doing. That is so dangerous. Stop thinking that when a man is saying hello, they want to shell you. Sometimes they want to tell you that your wig is almost falling off. They want to help you. And when they're just saying, you hear a guy on the street saying, hello, you are going forward. They are helping you. Your wig is almost falling. You understand? So please, guys, be careful on especially